All right, hi there. Today I'm just going to share with you the 3 steps to successfully build an MLM business without struggling. Now, I just want to point out there was a very interesting story that happened when I was in MLM world. And if you don't know what MLM is, it stands for multi-level marketing, or another name is also network marketing. But let me just share a story with you that really caught my attention. So when I was in the MLM world, there was this gentleman that was highly successful, extremely wealthy, and he shared the opportunity to join this MLM, and he was very transparent about it. Now, one of the things that really caught my attention was like how rich this person is. He did really well in real estate. He did really well internationally, and it just drew me. Now, another person also happened to share the same opportunity with me, and for whatever reason, I wasn't drawn to it. I was just not drawn to it. But this other gentleman who shared the opportunity, I was completely drawn to him, that I actually chased him, and then we start partnering up and doing some other things together. Um, Multi-millionaire, like super rich. Anyways, so what was really cool was that when he shared the opportunity, what made him stand out so much was not only his way of being, his confidence, his ability to share. So he would talk about some of the roles that he had in the past, where he shared the stage with certain people. He was like the #1 MLM in the world at one point, and he named some of the people that he shared the stage with. And he said, "You know what? Bring them any time, any day, and I'll compete against these guys head to head." So that level of confidence was really really eye-opening for me. So I was really drawn to him, and the opportunity was the same as everybody else. So there was, just imagine, there's person A and person B. So person A has like all these credentials, like, I've spoke on a stage, I've done this, I'm a multi-millionaire. And there's person B who's like, he's like fairly good, and the same opportunity. But I was so drawn to person A. Now, the question that I have with you is, who would you have picked had you had the choice, person A or person B? And one of the things that the person A said, that was really cool, he said, like, if you join my team, I typically charge $1,000 per hour for coaching, and I'm gonna give it to you for free. And this is somebody who already has a lot of results under his belt. So at that point, I was like, okay, well, it's a no-brainer. If I join this package, I just pay, X amount, and I get like free coaching. That's $1,000 per hour just by being underneath him. And right now, he only has a few people that he can actually coach. So that means that he can only guide as like, his time is limited. Everybody only has 24 hours in the day. So the more people that joins under him, the less amount of time he'll be able to coach them. So I said, you know what, I'm in right away. So that was a sense of urgency. All right, so why am I sharing this with you? Why am I sharing this with you, and why does it make sense? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is, let me just share my screen so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So it has everything to do with the 3 steps to successfully build an MLM business without struggling. And this is the biggest question I have for everybody else. And it doesn't really matter whether it's MLM or not. If you are in a business where you have competition, and the competition can buy the exact same product that you're selling, at that point, what are you typically competing against? Well, you're typically competing against price, and the second thing is service, typically. All right. So how good is the service, and how good is the price? If you are unable to change the price, unable to change the service, now it's convenience. How convenient is it for the other person, or relationship? Who does this person want to purchase from? When it comes to MLM, there's actually 2 products that you're selling. So let's write this down. All right. So the first product that you're selling is the actual product. So it doesn't matter which product you're selling, whether it's, for example, coffee, a supplement, any product. Usually they're renewable products, because that's where they make their money. And the second thing you're selling is the opportunity. All right. So just be aware of that. And I'm going to wrap this all together as like, why does it make sense for you at the end? All right. Be very focused on which one it is. So this is one of the great stories I love about when it comes to MLM, and it's shared over and over and over again. So imagine that you go to McDonald's. Even if you don't like McDonald's, just use this as an example and you'll understand it. So you go to McDonald's and you want a hamburger, right? You go to the cashier and you're ready to order a hamburger, and you say, okay, what do you want? It's like, I want a hamburger. And the person says, okay, well, okay, so I'll sell you the hamburger, but what about a franchise? Would you like to open your own McDonald's? And you're like, no, 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 I just want the burger. And you're like, oh, you know what, let me convince you, and see, it could make more sense, because right now you're paying, for example, you're paying $5 for the hamburger, but if you open a franchise, you're only going to have to pay $2 for the hamburger. So it makes a lot more sense. And you're like, no, no, I just really want the hamburger. And like, no, no, like I don't think you get it. If you open a franchise, you'll save $3 and you can make money selling the hamburgers. So you actually be in profit for every hamburger you sell for $3 each. Imagine how many hamburgers you're going to sell. And then at the end, the person's like, you know what, forget it. I'm not interested in the hamburger anymore. I'm not interested in the opportunity. So that's where it's super interesting, is you got to be able to identify, and I'm going to highlight this, your ideal client. Is your ideal client looking to buy the product, or is your ideal client looking to buy the opportunity? And it's super easy as to figure out which one it is. Super easy, all right? Because actually, in order for somebody to buy the opportunity, they have to believe in the product. They have to like the product or love the product enough for them to say, yes, now I'm in, let me buy the opportunity. So let's review this. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that they buy the product. All right. And these are all called like staircase model when it comes to buying opportunities, buying purchases. Same thing. So typically somebody who wants to buy, for example, a McDonald's franchise, they don't actually just go in and buy the McDonald's franchise. They've probably been at McDonald's a few times. They probably tasted the product, different products. They probably experienced the service. They probably even start looking around and see what are they doing to make sure that this business is profitable. So keep that in mind when you're selling the opportunity. So the first thing is, does the product sell? If the person's in for the product, you will always have the opportunity later on to sell them the opportunity. But if you jump right to the opportunity, you might actually lose both. So be very, very mindful of that. I'd rather sell a lot more products at the beginning. So now I have leads that where I can actually move to the opportunity. So you want to create the leads from product buyers, and that will give you that will actually give you a list for opportunity buyers. All right, so that's the first step. Go in this order, it'll make a lot more sense. All right, so going back to the story of that gentleman, who person A versus person B. Person A said, like, you know what, I'm a multimillionaire, I've coached people, I was number one, blah blah blah. So what this person is doing is standing out from everybody else. Is standing out, and he was actually offering $1,000 per hour coaching. So if I were to represent myself in the MLM world, I would actually stand out and start saying, like, you know what, I've been in the MLM world before, I've created residual income, I've built a team, I've done it in different MLMs, and this is how it can help you. All right. So right, this is the first thing. You want to make sure you'll be able to stand out. You're going to stand out outside of the opportunity, outside of the product, because it doesn't matter in terms of if the person went to the same company, they'll be able to find out with anybody else. So it actually doesn't stand out. It's actually something that works against you, because if the MLM has, like, for example, 10,000 distributors and there's 1,000 in that city of yours alone, you need to stand out from that 1,000. All right. So you have to find a way around it. And it doesn't matter if you're a multimillionaire or not. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it. It's super simple. All right. So the first thing is, we're going to take your experience. We're going to take your experience as an asset. And I'm going to like dumb it down for you. It's going to be super easy. All right. So first of all, you're going to stand out. And the way to stand out is, let's just say, for example, I've had experience in working at A&W, the restaurant, the fast food. I was a manager there. So I was a manager at A&W. All right. So the thing is, I'm not literally going to say that I was a manager at A&W. What I'm going to say is that I actually managed a team of, I think it was like 18 people. Okay. Managed a team of 18 people. and it was a multi-million-dollar company that I was helping managing. All right, so that's part of my experience. So what that means is I actually created credibility automatically by saying that I have experience in managing a team. So what that means to you, when somebody comes and I share the opportunity or the product, actually in this case it will be the opportunity. This person already purchased the product. We're going to skip right all the way to opportunity because selling the product is actually pretty easy. Selling opportunity is the challenging part. All right. So I'm going to say I help manage a team of 18 people in a multi-million-dollar company. All right. And that automatically means for the other person that I can help manage this person. I have leadership power. All right. And I have credibility that I can manage a multi-million-dollar company. All right. So the next part is I'm going to share my sales experience. I did door-to-door sales, B2B, B2C, B2B2B. So sales experience as raw as it gets. All right. So what does that mean for the other person? That means I can teach the person no matter what they choose to do, that they can sell. Even if somebody has absolutely no sales experience, I can teach the person how to sell. Now, I've invested 3 years like as this example, I actually invested more, but I'm just gonna use 3 years of sales, and I think I invested about $5,000 of my own money to learn sales. All right, so that's one part. The other part is I'm going to talk about building other MLM companies. So I built other MLM companies, built other MLM businesses before. And actually, I was fairly successful at it. Where I spoke on stage, so I hit a high rank, so that means credibility, and I was able to create residual income at a full-time gig. All right. So again, you're building credibility, and gotta make sure what this means to them. And so let's say, what else do I want to add? I want to add that I also have this system that I created, actually checklist. I create this checklist that these are the necessary tools you need as an individual to be able to look out. So this checklist, I realized that, after working with all these MLM companies, I said, actually, the first thing you need is, you'll be able to brand yourself, you're going to be able to stand out. So this checklist I created, the MLM Insider Success Secret Checklist. All right. So if I were to create, for example, this checklist, now let's just put a value to it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the entire value. Let's just say the opportunity cost. The opportunity, if I were to somebody to join the business, would be, as an example, let's just say $2,000. All right. Let's say it's $2,000. Now, if I go everywhere and I want to join the same company, I can meet those 1,000 people within my city and join for $2,000. So how do I compete against this? This is how we're going to break it down. All right, we're going to break it down all together. So the first thing is, let's create a value, a dollar amount to this. Managing a team of 18 people, this alone, the value, I would say it's valued at $4,000. Okay. Now, sales experience, let's just say this one, 3 years, I would say it's valued. Actually, it's valued because I made some sales at $10,000 to learn this. And then build other hiring. This is, I'll just say, priceless. And then inside the checklist, let's just say this is valued at $100. Oh, also, there's only one of me. I can only teach and train 20 people. Can only teach and train 20 people max. That's my maximum capacity as an individual. So that means that, let's just say, I have 18 spots left. All right. So what that means is, with the 18 spots left is that it creates a sense of urgency. All right. So be very, very mindful. Okay. So same situation, same thing with the gentleman I was talking, person A. So you know what, I charge $1,000 for coaching per hour for every person, and the more people I have, my time's gonna be limited. I can only teach people, and just mind you, I only teach people and train and coach people who are super hungry. So in this case, I say I only have 18 people left. So if somebody was in my situation, same thing with person A, I was like, shit, I want to be part of that. I'm putting my money down. All right. So this opportunity cost, which is $2,000, in this case, if let's add, actually, let's put regular versus me. All right, so if we were to add this all up together, so we have 4,000, this is 14,000, 14,000 this is priceless, so 14,000 plus 100 is 14,400, all right? $14,100, that's what it comes down to. 14,000, but I'm gonna say, hey, I'm not gonna sell this opportunity for you for 14,100. I'm actually gonna sell it to you for the same price as this $2,000 right here. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give it to you for the same price if you decide to join my team. And as a bonus, what I'll do is you'll be able to get private access to me right now because you are actually part of the 18 people. Private access. And what I'll do is when it comes, I'll train you how to speak on stage as well as a bonus. Bonus stage training. So that means like you'll be able to sell from the stage, you'll be able to do other things, all right? Now this, as a bonus, let's just say it's valued at $5,000 because you actually can make a lot of money for selling from the stage, all right? So now with the bonus, this actually moves up to 19,100. 19,100. All right. So now here's a question. Let me just remove this highlight because this is what I want you to see is my offer is same as okay for this opportunity. Now I just differentiate myself from all of the other 999 people out there in the same city that are offering the same product as me, same opportunity as me. So here's the thing is, who do you want to work with? The person who says I had the same product, same opportunity, and they weren't able to tell how they can benefit you, why you want to work with this person? Or do you want to work with somebody like me who's managed a multi-million-dollar company with 18 people who have the sales experience, and I invested 3 years doing door-to-door sales, B2B, B2B, B2C, B2B2B, and I invested my own money, $5,000, and I'll teach you all that. So you'll save 3 years of that, and on top of that, you'll save $5,000 of this course that you don't even need to invest in. Also, I'll teach you how to have the residual income because I actually done it in previous MLM. And you'll also have access to this checklist of how to prepare you to be able to be successful that in any MLM. That's another $100. And you'll personally have access to me. I have 18 spots left. If you want to go right ahead, what I'll do is I'll throw in the bonus training stage once you are at that stage, when you build a team or you're actually selling from the stage. And all of this is actually valued at $19,100. But if you choose to work with me right now, what you can do is I'll give it to you for $2,000 and you'll have all of the other bonuses. So that's an easy example of how you would use how you would be able to differentiate yourself in an MLM. All right. So just a recap is the first thing you want to do is find out who your ideal clients are. So in my case, if I want to look at who are my ideal clients would be, actually let's use Balbeer for example. Balbeer, if I were to use, actually let's just use this example for you specifically. It'll be perfect. So if I were to use you as an example, and I were to do this, what I would do is let's move on to the ideal client. So ideal client would be, let's just say people or women. I think that's who your ideal clients are. So let's say woman, woman. Oh man, I can't type. Women who are having a difficult time with their relationship, with their spouse, with their husband. There you go, with their husband. Mothers, they're actually mothers, I believe, who are having, okay. So super simple. All right, so that's your ideal client. How are you gonna stand out? If I were to use you, is you can say, for example, X amount of years working at a multi-million dollar company, and let's just say, and I made myself so valuable that they were willing to keep me when I wanted to quit in my terms. So what does that mean for them? Is like, I will teach you how to be valuable in any situation and how to negotiate. All right, so we'll be putting a dollar amount to it. All right, so what else? Also, you overcame the part of your relationship, be able to stand out. So that took you about, let's just say, for example, took five years of life to be able to be confident in your relationship decision. In this case, I believe you decide to go separate ways. All right. So if you were to put a value to it, it's like that 5 years of life, how much money, how much agony, how much money did you lose? How much money did you, how much misery, how much, if you're taking any medication, any therapy, anything like that, what would be the value, right? So if somebody's in a similar situation, we'll put a value to that. So you can, so what does that mean to them? Is I will teach you how to become uh, decisive, decisive in a positive way, healthy way, actually. Let's put it better. Healthy way. All right. So the other thing is you probably start to create a community that people who are very similar, and that community is typically all these people are feel like they're alone. Nobody can support them. So always started a community. You create a community. If you haven't created a community, you will be creating community. Supportive community that's got your back. Actually, let's remove this. Yeah, let's just put it. So supportive community that's got your back. And instead of you looking for and creating it, then you actually have something created for them. All right. And finally, the last thing is you will have, we can use the same thing here. You will have access to me. So in this case, if somebody were to come up across the same opportunity, you have a huge, unique selling proposition why they would work with you. All right. So let's start putting some value to it. So X amount of blah, blah, blah. Let's just say this is, $10,000. In your case, if you don't feel that comfortable, just put a lower number. Whatever it is, it's still going to be more than $2,000 in terms of at the end. So in this case, you do have some experience. Let's just put 1K. 5 years. Let's just put this. This one's probably big, so you can probably put like 10K. Whoops. And just keep in mind that you can always change. You can always pivot. This is just a blueprint of what to do, the foundation. The number in this doesn't matter as much as what it's going to do for them. The number is just to illustrate the difference. You want to be able to contrast how big of a value you are compared to somebody else. And even if somebody else has this, you just have a different way of positioning yourself. So for example, if I were to use person A that I was mesmerized with, who is a multi-millionaire, well, that person doesn't have, for example, doesn't have the insider secrets checklist. They just said that they have $1,000 per hour coaching that they provide. The other thing is this part here, right? I can also turn around like, look, the best person who can teach you how to make $100,000 is not a multimillionaire. It's the person who is in 100,000 in a six-figure club, because they are the closest to it. The person who's teaching you the multimillionaire strategies is way, way advanced, and they probably don't even remember what were the steps that they took. Once you are close to that, it makes more sense for you to work with somebody at that point. So super easy. You can always spin around anything that they throw at you, even if the person's like super uber successful, because that could actually be something that we can turn around against them. And also, like, everybody wants attention from this person. With me, you'll have personalized attention right away, because I'm not working with that many people. Okay. All right. So let's finish this. Teach you supportive. This one is cool. Supportive community. Let's just say this is 1K. Yeah, 1K. And then this one, I would say priceless, for example. All right. So if we're to add it all up together, it's like 2,000, 3,000, 13,000, and then 14,000. Okay, so 14,000. So 14,000. Okay, and the opportunity cost or investment in your, if you would position that way, would be $2,000. All right. So what I'll do is like this $14,000 of value. What I'll do is I'll throw it in for you absolutely for free if you decide that this is something you want to do right now. And on top of that, as a bonus, you sign up right now, then you will be part of the 18 people that will have private access to me. So instead of charging you that 14,000, your investment is the same thing as anybody else, which is $2,000. But the difference is you'll get all of this with it. All right, so you don't have to find a supportive community. When you're having a hard time, guess what? We all have a supportive community that's got your back, right? You're not in this alone. We're in this together. I'll also teach you how to negotiate so you can stand in your power. I'll also help you to make relationship decisions. Things that you thought would actually hinder you are actually the things that strengthen you. So you've already been through this experience. You've already shared some of your wins. In this case, you can reshare them and teach them how these people or how these clients, these ideal potential clients are in a great situation with your guidance. So that's how I would do it. Again, recap, ideal client, stand out, package, package it, package it, package it. Now it's very easy for anybody to see, hey, this person provides so much value. Why would I go with person B when I can go to person A? This person A has it all figured out versus person B is like, okay, this person B has a system, everything that's all provided part of the opportunity. There's nothing really for me. I'm not as valued as person A. Person A create their own value. So you can definitely do that just by creating all of this. And like I said, the dollar amount doesn't matter as much is because the dollar amount is just to be able to create that contrast. Even if you use, for example, $100 under anything under $1,000. The idea is that you see this 14,000 or this 13,000, this 10,000, even this $1,000. It's a no-brainer at that point that if they work with you, they will be able to get that as a bonus at the same amount as anybody else, and they'll get so much more. So that's what I want to share with you. Let me know how this is valuable for you. And yeah, let me know how valuable it is for you and how you will be able to use it. All right, super excited. Have yourself an amazing day.